time has come for everyone to clean up their own backyard. Clean up their own backyard.
It's time for the Justice Department to stop playing games at this point. I'm about to read you excerpts from an article from Insider.com that says that Donald Trump can be charged with multiple crimes over his attempts to overturn his loss in Georgia, reports say. Yeah, he can, and he should, plain and simple. Reading from the article, former President Donald Trump could be charged with multiple crimes over the election interference in Georgia, a new analysis says. The report by the Brookings Institution, a think tank in Washington, D.C., analyzes publicly available evidence that shows that Donald Trump and his allies attempted to pressure Georgia officials to change the lawful outcome of the election. A key piece of evidence is the now infamous phone call that Donald Trump made to Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger on January the 3rd, in which the president told him to find 11,780 votes to overturn Joe Biden's victory in the state. Quoting Trump from the phone call, "There's no way I lost Georgia," Trump repeatedly said throughout the entire phone call. "There's no way. We won by hundreds of thousands of votes." Those assertions were false, as Biden won the state by nearly 12,000 votes, becoming the first Democratic presidential nominee to carry the longtime Republican stronghold since 1992. Obviously, the other one being, of course, Bill Clinton. The report added that Trump publicly pressured and personally contacted several other Republican officials in Georgia to ask for their help in overturning his electoral loss in the state, including Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, Chris Carr, the attorney general of Georgia. Trump repeatedly placed direct calls to the officials in December to urge them to go along with his increasingly desperate plan to discertify his loss, the report says. And if you think that this is hyperbole or over-exaggeration, Donald Trump held a rally in Georgia where he explained all of this. He admitted that he contacted the two people I just mentioned, Kemp and the Attorney General Chris Carr of Georgia. Take a look at this.
But I said to these young people, let me handle it. I was going to show them how good I am. Let me handle it. I'll call them up. I said, Brian, listen, you have a big election integrity problem in Georgia. I hope you can help us out and call a special election, and let's get to the bottom of it for the good of the country. Let's get to the bottom of it for the good of your state. Let's go, election integrity. What could be better than that? Sir, I'm sorry, I cannot do that. I said, whoa. I said, you cannot do that. And that's why, let me tell you, this guy's a disaster. He's a disaster.
What you just saw was a clear-cut, pure case of him admitting what he did, what this report says he did. He admitted it on open air. He might as well just said that he raped someone. And thanks to Donald Trump's supporters and Republicans in the Congress and Senate, he can get away with it. But let's get back to the report. The report also says that we conclude that Trump's post-election conduct in Georgia leaves him the substantial risk of the possibility of state charges predicated on multiple crimes. These charges potentially include criminal solicitation to commit election fraud, intentional interference with the performance of electoral duties, conspiracy to commit election fraud, and criminal solicitation and state RICO violations, all of which he is guilty of. Now, this isn't the report talking right now. This is me talking. All of which he is guilty of. 110%. Quoting from the article again, the report also added that criminal liability could extend to some of Trump's allies, including his former personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. I tried to warn him. We all tried to warn him that being in Donald Trump's pocket was going to lead him to a bad end, but he didn't listen. And he probably still won't listen. Anyway, again from the article, Giuliani appeared before committees in the Georgia Capitol with the precise intent of persuading state lawmakers to, quote, take extraordinary action to reverse Biden's win, unquote. In February, Raffensperger's office opened an investigation into Trump's efforts to overturn his loss in the state. I applaud him for doing that, but honestly, what are you waiting for? You have the evidence. Take him down. But also, Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis also launched an investigation into Trump's conduct related to the election. Stop playing games with this thing. I understand that an investigation takes time, but you have the evidence. Take him down. Again from the article, the Brookings Institution report analyzed these investigations and suggested that crimes that Trump could be legally charged with, along with his legal defenses. The report suggested that Trump would likely claim immunity, arguing that he can't be prosecuted for actions while he was in office. That's your defense, Trump? That I'm not in office, I'm not the president anymore, so you can't charge me. You can't do nothing to me. That's your real defense. You're pathetic, dude. You're just pathetic. Anyway, quoting back from the article, former presidents enjoy a measure of immunity for actions taken that fall somewhere within the scope of his lawful duties as a federal official, according to the report. However, in this case, Trump's actions were this is quoting from the report, well outside the scope of his official duties, unquote. So Trump, you're right. You may get away with some of the stuff you've done, but this is definitely not going to be one of them. It is not. In conclusion from the article, for months, Trump has continued to promote debunked claims. Note the use of that word, debunked claims, that the 2020 election was fraudulent, speaking of ballots coming from ceilings and pushing for forensic vote audits in closely contested states like Arizona and Wisconsin. The former president is facing several criminal investigations over his conduct while in office, as well as his personal finances. So if we're not going to get you on one thing, Trump, you're damn sure going to know that we're going to get you on something. You're not walking away from the responsibility that you owe this country, you entitled, spoiled bastard. And as for the Trumpers out there who keep telling me that this country is going to hell in the handbasket because of Biden, maybe it might be. But guess who gave us the keys, gave you the keys to drive that car to hell? Donald Trump did. And you cheered it on every single second he was in office. So one way or another, Trump is going down. Now you can either get on board with this idea and maybe, just maybe, you might be able to save your career. But honestly, I think it's too late. It's way too late for all of you. If this is the kind of country, the kind of leader you want, then I feel so sorry for all of you. You Trumpers have crossed too many lines, and now it's about time you take responsibility for it. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.